It is 10:13 p.m. The paycheck hit that morning. The number is already smaller. Nothing unusual happened. Rent, groceries, gas, the card payment that always lands higher than expected. And still, less remains than should. You check again. Same number. Not panic. Something quieter. Confusion. Because the effort is real. The hours are real. The income is real. And the result isn't. This is not a discipline problem. This is a structural problem. Nobody explains it this way. You were taught that earning is progress. It isn't. Earning sustains motion. It does not create position. That is the first fracture. Income requires you. It stops when you stop. The system does not pause to accommodate that. It never did. You are being paid for movement inside a structure that keeps nothing by default. That was always the design. At this level, you are not poor. You are claimed. The paycheck arrives. It is already divided. Rent takes $1,842. The car follows. $517. Insurance doesn't wait. $194. Groceries take $563. Utilities pull $248. Debt collects $611. Transport takes $206. The phone, $96. And the small things, the ones that never feel like decisions, take another $389. It doesn't pause. It doesn't negotiate. By the time it's done, $320 remains. $320. That is what survived. You call it leftover. It isn't. It is unclaimed capital inside a system designed to claim everything. Most people never see this. They see income. They don't see extraction. So they blame themselves for what remains. They reduce. They cut. They shrink their lives to protect a number that was never designed to grow. It helps. Briefly. But the structure doesn't change. Because the structure is not built for preservation. It is built for circulation. The first shift is not wealth. It is interruption. A few thousand stays. Not enough to matter publicly. Enough to matter privately. The car breaks. You don't collapse. The bill arrives. You don't react immediately. You gain something small. Time. Time before pressure. Time before bad decisions. Time before damage. This is not exciting. It is mechanical. Panic accelerates loss. Delay slows it. The system prefers speed. Speed keeps you compliant. Slow people think. Thinking interrupts extraction. Nobody told you this. Here is the number most people never run. You earn $78,400. You keep $4,986 a month. The system runs. At the end, $320 remains. Over a year, $3,840. Then life removes it. Dentist, $1,126. Tires, $847. A flight home, $418. The dog gets sick, $692. The system does not ask if you are ready. It continues. When it's done, $757 remains. $757. That is what survived the year. That is the distance between effort and accumulation. This is where perception breaks. Other people hear income. You see duration. Other people upgrade. You calculate cost in years. The gap widens. Quietly. This is not discipline. This is awareness. And it isolates. Because once you see the system clearly, participation feels different. You are no longer optimizing comfort. You are managing structure. This is where income splits. One part feeds the present. The other is removed. Not invested yet. Just withheld. This is unnatural. The system trains you to circulate everything. Retention feels like stagnation. So most people stop here, right before the pattern changes. Retention alone does nothing. Money sitting still is inert. The shift happens when retained capital is given a function. It is no longer yours. It becomes part of a system that continues without you. Ownership, not income. At 6:18 a.m., Daniel stands in his kitchen. $8,640 arrived 3 days ago. 3 options remain open. Spend, upgrade, or convert. He closes 2. Moves $6,500. Leaves the rest. No emotion, just selection. That moment is invisible, but it is the dividing line. Because once capital is deployed into something that persists, the relationship changes. You are no longer trading time. You are building something that trades on your behalf. The machine begins to replicate. Slowly. Indifferently. At this level, The question mutates. Not, can I afford this? What does this remove? Every purchase becomes subtraction from structure. Time removed from compounding. Years removed from independence. The system does not tell you this. It shows you price, not cost. Lifestyle expands faster than structure. Always has. Always will. So most people expand with it. They call it progress. It isn't. It is alignment with the system's default behavior. This is where most people remain. Not because they fail, because they never refuse. Eventually, the shift completes. Income becomes secondary. Structure becomes primary. You stop reacting to months. You observe continuity. Assets persist. Income fluctuates. You trust persistence, not fluctuation. At higher levels, money is no longer personal. It becomes architectural. Allocation, tax efficiency, risk exposure, control of flow. The system becomes visible, not emotionally, mechanically. You are no longer inside it. You are arranging parts of it. Then something disappears. Urgency. Bills arrive. They do not control behavior. Markets move. You do not respond. Work becomes optional. Not in theory. In structure. This is not abundance. It is absence. Absence of pressure. Absence of reaction. Absence of dependency. People expect wealth to feel loud. It doesn't. It feels quiet and detached. Because distance from pressure creates distance from experience. The system does not reward awareness with meaning. Only control. And control is silent. Someone else is at the beginning. It is 10:13 p.m. The paycheck arrived that morning. The number is already smaller. They think the problem is discipline. It isn't. They think income will solve it. It won't. The system is already running. It does not wait. It does not adjust. It continues. With or without them.